of the future should be in more capable hands.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome. I do want to send a very huge shout out to at least 3 of my Optimus Plus channel members. I see them in the chat room. I see a couple of them in the chat room. First is going to be Jordan. Shout out to you, Jordan. Because of you, Nemesis Prime is here. Shout out to you. Also, because of, we got Nemesis Prime here, Jordan, Adam, and special shout out to Stacy, who was able to pick this up for me in Australia. And with the combination of those 3, they were able to send it out to me. But I'm even more excited about this. Tim Tams. I have me authentic Australian double coat, the most irresistible chocolate biscuit. I have Tim Tams. So we may try those at some point in time tonight. We shall see. We're going to be doing a 1-hour show where I'm going to be talking about the new Netflix Transformers Kingdom season, the 3rd and final season in the War for Cybertron trilogy. And heads up that if you guys are watching live, you can ask questions. I'll do my best to answer some of them. But be aware that this is going to potentially, more than likely, definitely contain spoilers. So, if you're watching this at a later date, hit the like button, come back later, and you can watch after you watch it. The show debuts on the 29th, so in a few days. I got to watch the show at the beginning of the month, a little bit before the beginning of the month. So I've had roughly about a month or so having access to it. And a lot of people didn't like when I would do the review real early on it. They just didn't like it, I suppose. What are we saying, Adam? Hey, Adam! What's up, buddy? Good to see all of you. Optimus Prime is here. Fantastic. Good to see all of you. Do you have to watch Beast Wars and Beast Wars 2 to understand Kingdom? That's an interesting question. No, not really. I bet you about a Coca-Cola that Ravage of the Future looks great. Ravage is not in this. Ravage of the Future is not in it. Koopa Matty Days to you, good sir. Go, you crazy man. Optimus is the freaking man. Thank you, Kodiak. That's nice of you. How long is this going to be? This is only going to be, I'm going to be here for an hour discussing this. You will probably get more information than you probably would have. But people didn't like it when I did the full review. So I thought I would do, real early. So I thought I would do something like this. It's a little bit closer to the release date of it. Do an 8K not Felgren. Oh, Andrew, I'm sorry to hear that. My eyes are I'm really tired, so my eyes are really messed up right now. Can you please, what? More Hot Toy Marvel figures. Nightmare. Yes, but we're talking about Transformers Kingdom now. Transformers Kingdom. Let's see. I was worried that I should binge all the Beast Wars. No. So here's your warning. If you don't want to be spoiled by things, be aware. But the chat's going to go by pretty quick, so I'll do my best to try to keep up with it. We'll see what I can do. Chibis, that's a good question. And so again, what was it? I'll walk with Katie. Okay. So again, be aware that there are going to be spoilers that are in this video. So as I said, drop a like, come back later and watch it after you've seen it yourself. Is Waspinator in it? No, Waspinator is not in it. And what I'll tell you is, in terms of the Kingdom toys, the ones that we have gotten are the only ones that are in the show. So Waspinator's not in it. Terradive is not in it. Now, whether or not the figures come out later, that's another thing. That's two totally separate things. But those characters are not in the show. So basically, season 3 starts off where obviously Earthrise ends. That they're locked in a battle. They're now crashing to Earth. All that fun stuff happens. And what ends up happening, Netflix gave him, yes. For those of you that are wondering, again, I guess I should say this. I have access to it. Netflix and Transformers, they have given me access to it. It's a special screening thing. I have to type in a code every time I want to watch an episode. It's kind of annoying. But I got early access to watch it. I got to watch it about a month ago. So again, was it better than previous season? So one thing, so they go in, they're crashing to Earth. One thing that I'll say about season 3 is it is, for the most part, season 1 and season 2 seem to be a normal progression for what we're used to seeing. That there's a war on Cybertron, Autobots, Decepticons, they leave. The only thing that was really different was Optimus took the Allspark off, and the Allspark was never part of the original G1 storytelling. I did give you a shout out, Stacy. So they leave, or Optimus Prime sends away the Allspark, but then they're traveling. So there's always that gap kind of thing, like what happened in between. So I liked the first 2 seasons because it kind of filled in some of those gaps and things of that nature. Why was Jetfire there? Why is Elita 1 there? All that kind of stuff. And it was kind of a filling in of blanks of sorts. Kingdom takes, and so it kind of followed a continuity to a degree. Kingdom changes that. Kingdom does not really, from the beginning of Kingdom, it is different. The Ark crashes to Earth. While they're there, the Autobots do not go into any kind of stasis. They are there, they're wounded, and they have been detected by the Maximals who witnessed them crashing. Now, the Maximals are there, the Predacons are there. The biggest thing that I would say with them is that they are still from the future. They are from a future where Optimus sends the Allspark away. So the story works that they are going after their Megatron. Their Megatron is in it. The Predacons that are in it, you got Megatron, you have Black Arachnia, Dinobot, even though Dinobot does kind of have a thing where he doesn't really like what Megatron is doing, kind of thing, and Scorponok. Those are the only Predacons that are there. And as the Autobots crash, the Maximals discover them, and they go and confront them. And this is where, like, you instantly start seeing, like, a different kind of thing, because you're like, wait a minute. Based on what you know about the Beast Wars series and things like that, there isn't there are, so I will say while there's going to be spoilers, I'm doing my best not to really spoil too much for you guys. And there are certain things that I still cannot answer. If you ask the questions, I cannot talk about certain things in it. Like if you're going to ask me if somebody dies or things of that nature, I can't answer questions like that. So as the as the Autobots are there, the Maximals come and talk to them, but they don't know that they're the Autobots, because fast forward a little bit towards the end, the Maximals are mad at Optimus Prime because he sent the Allspark away, and the Allspark results in Cybertron essentially dying. Now, because of that, there's a constant battle between the Predacons and the Maximals. The Predacon Megatron decides that he wants to steal the Golden Disc, because the Golden Disc is a memoir, is what he calls it, a memoir of all the things that Megatron has gone through or will go through. So it's like Back to the Future. It's the sports almanac thing. You know the entire history of things. So that Megatron wants to steal the Golden Disc, and successfully does, and give it to the G1 Megatron to help him beat Optimus Prime. The result is them going back in time, and then the Maximals following them. Maximals don't know why the Predacons went to this particular time. But if you've watched Beast Wars, there's a lot of other stuff that plays into it about why they them crashing onto what they was a random thing, then coming to find out that it was Earth. None of that is in this. So everybody's trying to figure out what's going on. As the Maximals discover that the Autobots are there, that's when you find out that there's a bit of a grudge that the Maximals have for the Autobots and Optimus Prime, because Optimus Prime sent the Allspark away. In terms of a review, I would say that the voice acting, the animation is the exact same. The whole concept of Earthrise as a toy line is completely silly. There are no Earth modes for any of these characters. Here's Trax. He's not even in the show, but there are no, like the Earthrise things. They all stay in their Siege Cybertronian modes. Now is Galvatron in this? Save for Earthrise. He hasn't shown up in Transformers. Yeah, I'll get to Galvatron here in a bit. Optimus Prime, yes, all the Predacon, or all the Maximals are there. So you have all the toys. Again, I'll say this again: all the Beast Wars toys that we have gotten released as of right now, all the way up to this little guy. All of those Beast characters that we've gotten in terms of toys are in the show. And it's so whether it be Rat Trap, Air Razor, we are getting Tigertron, all that kind of stuff. So the Earth modes are, we don't get any Earth modes in these, so some people may be annoyed with that. But Kingdom goes into a whole realm where, like I said, it's kind of talking about the future and things of that nature, where the Maximals have followed the Predacons back to basically try to stop them, but they're not entirely sure why. And Galvatron, who we saw was trying to give Megatron the Golden Disc before, but then was discovered by Unicron. That plays a big part into this, because Galvatron has kind of become the big threat. And without the Allspark and everything, it's not they don't have much of a chance against them. So Unicron is kind of run like this omnipotent being, and Galvatron wants to try and change the past. He wants to help Megatron win and get the Allspark back on there. He doesn't want Optimus Prime to do it. But, and you're asking about Nemesis Prime. Nemesis Prime, and this is why I went ahead and bought a Nemesis Prime figure. It's the first time I've actually really liked, well, no, that's not true. I like the Transformers Prime version of Nemesis Prime. Unicron reformats Galvatron, or reforms Megatron into Galvatron to basically do his bidding and stuff like that. Galvatron wants to revolt and get away from the rule of Unicron. So that's why he wants to help Megatron get the Allspark and fix things. That being said, Optimus Prime is reformatted by Unicron. And that is where Nemesis comes from. So when the Maximals first recognize that they're the Autobots of sorts, they see Optimus and instantly begin to attack him and refer to him as Nemesis. So that automatically creates a trust issue where the Maximals do not want to trust the Autobots, and the Autobots don't necessarily trust the Maximals because they're telling them that they're from the future. So, what about rate? What? Whoever those people are, guys, moderators, if you can kick those people out, I would appreciate it. Rodimus Primal mentioned hallucinating was, I don't know who Rodimus Primal is. Hallucinating, no, they're not hallucinations. But that, Stacy, that does get into areas that I cannot talk about. But I'll tell you they're not hallucinations. Specifically Ultra Magnus. They're not hallucinations. Does Optimus become the leader figure the Autobots need, like Transformers Prime? Well, I mean, he always is the leader of things. That doesn't change. But what basically then happens is Megatron is now meeting with the Predacon Megatron. Oh, I remember what I was going to talk about. I do not like the voice acting for these new characters. Like the Optimus one, Optimus kind of bummed me. I mean, for the most part, I don't have much of a problem with the voice acting. The character of Predacon Megatron is lame. That's my professional opinion. He is basically a lapdog for the regular Megatron. He doesn't have much of a spine, honestly. He does do the yes thing, and it sounds cringy. I am not a fan of that. The voice acting, like I said, I'm not over. Like Rhinox, I think was pretty good. Rat Trap, I thought was good. Tigertron and Dinobot is a weird one because it's like they flipped characters around. Now, Dinobot was always a very honorable person, but he always had a very short fuse and he would get angry very quickly. It's like they reversed character traits between Dinobot and Tigertron. Tigertron should be like a very calm, relaxing character. I feel like the characters and the voice acting should have been flip-flopped. Whoever did Dinobot should have voiced Tigertron and vice versa, and the character traits should have been flip-flopped. I'm not a big fan of it. And like I said, Prime only David K can do Predacon. Well, you're not wrong. I mean, but so none of those original voice actors came back. But what's the deal with Optimus Prime and Alita with the green ball of light? That's also something I can't talk about. That happens in the last episode, which I cannot discuss. Magnus, Ultra Magnus, again, that's a situation where I can't really talk about that just yet. Yes. But yeah, I was not like I said, in terms of the characters and the voice acting, I think it should have absolutely been reversed. Just this Tigertron was like short fused. I saw that Prime versus Prime did a video of the Tigertron, and there's some weird pea yellow on the figure that the toy or that the character model does not have. So I'm like, that looks ugly. Sound Blaster we don't see again. Cyclonus is not in the show. That's not a thing. The Scourge and the sweeps, they're not in it. Like I said, I mean, I posted a picture, and it was of the new wave of like the wing guy. I can't remember his name. The new fossilizer in this line. You have Trax, Scorponok, that fossilizer, and then Wheeljack in this wave. And I said there's only 2 of those characters that are actually in the show. That would be Wheeljack and Scorponok. Those are the only ones that are in the show. None of like, so if you're going to ask me anything, again, I will tell you this very clearly, that none of the Autobots or Decepticons that have not appeared in the show, there are no new ones in it. There is more of Astro Train. I will say that, like, Astro Train appeared before. There was no there, but I mean, he was in it. He actually, had like some speaking roles and things like that. Same thing with the Decepticons, Autobots, and Decepticons. The only new ones were the Beast characters, and the Beast characters, the only like I said, the toys, those are the only ones that we've gotten. Unicron is in it. Yeah, there is more speaking with Unicron. So there are 6 episodes, Samuel. There are 6 episodes in it, much like all the other ones. Okay, so as time progresses, Galvatron and Nemesis Prime, basically, I have to sneeze. Excuse me. They have a different agenda. Whereas Megatron and Optimus want to get the Allspark back to Cybertron, basically Nemesis and Galvatron want to get want to beat Unicron. Unicron has taken over, and they want to get them to beat Unicron. They don't want them to use the Allspark or the Matrix or anything like that to beat Unicron per se. So they're trying to prevent Unicron from doing it, and that's basically the thing. They want to change the future, so they don't even exist. They don't want to live in a master-slave kind of relationship with Unicron. So that's why Galvatron wants to try and help them, and he thinks that Optimus is like a problem. So did David K... No original voice actors return for anything here. Megatron, Beast, and proper interact. What do you mean by that? My favorite character in the show is definitely Wheeljack. I've always loved him. Rhinox is actually really good too. How's the CGI for Unicron? CGI for Unicron is pretty much non-existent. We see him in his planet, but that's about it. Are you excited for the Rise of the Beast? This is a discussion about Kingdom, so I don't. So, Secret of the Matrix. Hello. So again, I can't really talk too much about the ending and what happens. But what I will say about it, hearing about the new take on Nemesis is maybe, yeah. I mean, it's like I said, I like it. And here's the thing, like Optimus and Nemesis are basically still the same character. It's just now one has been formatted by Megatron or by Unicron and controlled by him. So it's a really interesting kind of situation. Do the Maximals live the Axelon? Yeah, they still live on there, but you don't really see much of it or anything of that nature. So basically that's the gist of it. And again, I don't want to get into too much of it because I don't want to spoil too much. So I'll try to take a look at some of your questions. What I will say though is that while this is the end of the War for Cybertron trilogy, I do not no, Rodimus Prime is not in this. So again, none of the Autobots or Decepticon toys that we have gotten that haven't appeared in the show, none of them appear in the show. So for example, Hot Rod, even Rodimus Prime, none of them appear in the show. If they haven't appeared yet, then they don't appear again. You were thinking about Wingfinger. Yes, thank you very much. So while this is the end of it, are there any Beast Wars references in the show? I mean, the fact that all the Beast, like a bunch of Beast Wars characters are, then that's kind of a big reference. Does Galvatron transform this time? I don't remember if he did or not, honestly. There's not a lot of transformation in it. How's it going again? Oh, I keep getting distracted. There's definitely not a lot of transformation in it. There is some, obviously, but it's not nearly as much as I'm sure a lot of people would like. Let me think. One question: do we see Megatron getting reformatted and Optimus getting reformatted into? No, you don't see that. Because that takes place in the future, and we don't really see that up until, again, there's parts that I can't talk about. So I will say that somebody asked about it, or somebody mentioned it about a cliffhanger. And this is what I basically have the attention span of a goldfish. Like, if I just ignored all the questions, I'd be perfectly fine. If I ignored the comments, I would be okay. But I end up looking over there and I get distracted. Samuel, I cannot answer the question about anyone dying. There are specific things I was specifically told to not mention. The fate of Cybertron, I'm not allowed to mention what happens with any of that. I can't talk about pretty much the last episode, and I can't talk about anybody who may or may not die. So, as the show ends, I will say this, that it is a bit of a cliffhanger in the fact that this is not the end. And be that as it may, I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not going to tell you really what ends up happening with it. But this, I will say, like, and this is pure conjecture on my part, so I can kind of get away with this. The way that they end it, I feel could strongly lead into a toy line that we have not gotten in a very long time, and that would kind of be the Unicron Trilogy. I could see it. Whether or not it will is another story. But, you know, they've gone through the Beast Wars era. They've gone through the G1 era. The next logical one to kind of look at is, and with some of the leaked toys that we're seeing, you're seeing some Japanese characters and stuff. There's definitely a possibility where I could see the Unicron trilogy, whether it be Armada, Cybertron, or Unicron. I could see that definitely coming into play with things. So while this is the end of the War for Cybertron trilogy, this is not the end per se of the story that they're going to be telling. The arc. I'm going to check something. Because again, I'm going to go into my thing. I'm going to go. Oh, this is just a trailer anyhow, so. All right.
Capable hands. Exactly. Because we.
All right, so let's see. Because I can't talk about anything in the last episode, I'm going to go to the second to last episode and see if they talk about anything in here. Ah! I'm skipping ahead. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I'm trying to. Oh, yep, okay. It's not in the last episode, so I can talk about it. The arc does appear, obviously. Oh my god, if they do the Unicron Trilogy. Did you try the other language options with people? I don't know what that means. But the does the arc come with 2 of every animal? Huh? Oh Jesus Christ. That's terrible. I felt the same when Magnus died, and I feel the same about Prowl too. I literally screamed, "Oh!" when that happened. Get back to your explanation about Nemesis Prime, please. Well, I already covered my whole thing about Nemesis Prime. Nemesis Prime is Optimus, but reformatted by Megatron. It is assumed that the mentioned things about the multiverse in case a character that was not from there was shown, or some mention a name came. What? On the new line, that is, I don't understand what you're saying. Is the leader one dead? Again, I am not going to confirm or discuss any characters that die. Does Bumblebee finally transform? No. No, Bumblebee still doesn't transform. The arc. The arc does transform. And it's actually kind of a cool thing. The arc is like a completely inanimate object, but through traveling through the dead universe, it actually learned how to transform. So through the course of it, in the battle scenes and such, he does transform. He uses a great deal of energy, drawing from the Allspark, and does end up transforming. So we do see the arc. It's very much like Omega Supreme, like when Omega Supreme arrived. Does Megatron say his famous line? I don't know what his famous line is. Does Optimus get to have a happy ending? I can't really tell you. I don't know what that means. There is a definite relationship hinted about Tigatron and Air-Razor. Air-Razor does go through some stuff, and Tigatron is clearly protective of her. So wait, so Nemesis Prime is not a clone of Optimus? No, Nemesis Prime is not a clone of Optimus. He is a reformatted Optimus Prime. Unicron reformats Megatron into Galvatron, and he reformats Optimus into Nemesis. Optimus Primal, good question, Melanie. I am not a big fan of Optimus Primal. Optimus Primal is basically a dick in this. Now, for good reasons. He doesn't trust the Autobots. He doesn't trust Optimus Prime. But, again, I'm comparing Optimus Primal because the only time we've ever gotten Optimus Primal before was the Gary Chalk version of Optimus Primal. So I'm automatically comparing them. And it's annoying because he's not very, he just seems like a jerk. And that's kind of annoying for me. Cody, I heard that Megatron incinerates Bumblebee. Wow, Optimus on a vengeful rage. No! You're thinking of a different toy line, sir. Different toy line. There are no humans in this, so you don't have to worry about humans. Did Beast Wars Megatron say yes? Yes, he does say yes, but it's like a yes. It's obnoxious. I don't like the voice acting for Primal. I don't like the voice acting for Megatron. Predacon Megatron. I think that the voice acting for Rhinox is good. Cheetor sounds fine. Rat Trap sounds fine. But the voice acting for Tigatron and Dinobot, I don't think is very good. Good. It is good. It's just for the wrong character. I think they should swap. Dinobot does do some stuff that is questionable by the standards of the Predacons. So he does help with getting things going with the Maximals and Autobots. Are you going for a Peter Cullen look? I don't think I look like Peter Cullen, so I don't know what that means. Are there any normal animals in the show? I don't know what that means. Would you say the show is better than Transformers Prime? No, this show is definitely not better than Transformers Prime. Not by a long shot. Oh, no, he doesn't sound anything like David Kaye. Here, I wonder if I can actually do this. Let me see if I can find a part where Megatron is talking. And I can play the audio for it for you guys. Let's see. Skip me. Oh, all right. Wait, hold on.
So, how much of it have you heard?
Only what I need.
All right, here.
Megatron.
This is Megatron.
You're going to have to do something.
Oh, he doesn't like. Yeah.
I wear it with honor.
My honor. Change it. This golden disc has given Optimus Prime and revived Cybertron.
If I may, sir, how much of it have you heard?
Only what
Future events is bias. Excessive knowledge of future events is the most common reason new timelines fail.
between the data.
See, I don't know if you could hear that very well, but he's like, it doesn't sound good. I'm not a big fan of it. Does Mirage go invisible? Yes, to a degree. Unicron does appear in it as a planet. G1 Dinobot or G1 Megatron versus Dinobot? Maybe. Yeah, the voice isn't very good. Is Rat Trap still a mad nut in Kingdom? Yeah, kind of. I mean, I thought, like I said, the only ones that I didn't really like are Megatron and Primal. I don't remember if Scorponok really talks. Seems more like a flanderized version of Beast Megatron. We do see Soundwave with Laserbeak. Isn't RC Rat Trap's great aunt? Oh, I don't have any idea. No, they're not really. I wouldn't say they're cameos. Nemesis Prime does show up at the end, and that's all I'll say because, like I said, I can't talk about the last episode very much. But Nemesis Prime carries over into other things, and we get several conversations about him. Before Megatron sounds like movie Starscream. Well, kind of. Without any details, can you say if Megatron and Optimus fight together against anyone? No, I can't. Well, not that they don't, but I can't really talk about it because, again, the stuff that happens in the last episode, I really can't talk about. Am I satisfied with the ending? To a degree. I'm not a giant hater of the series like a lot of people are. I enjoy it. I think the voice acting could definitely be a lot better. Optimus Prime, I don't think has a great voice actor. Megatron, though, I think is really well done. Starscream, I think, is really well done. Bumblebee, Wheeljack, Iron Hydra, all of them, like Optimus Prime, I don't think is very good. And that's not that I'm saying that I want Peter Cullen to do it. I just think that the guy who's doing it is he's a little bit too grunty and just kind of bland, in my opinion. So I would say that I'm satisfied with it as much as I can be. What do I think of the animation? Animation, I don't have a problem with. I think the animation looks solid. Astral Train does speak. Joseph Skylinks. Did they mention Skylinks again? I don't remember. And then Alpha Trion. Maybe. Yeah, I agree with you, Nick. Optimus Prime's voice does sound a little bit forced. I said I'm not the biggest fan of it. Tarantulas does not show up. Again, I will say this again, that none of the characters from Beast Wars, if they have not gotten a toy that has already been released, no more Beast characters. In terms of Autobots and Decepticons, none that we haven't already seen before in the show up. There are no additional Autobots that show up. None. So if you're asking about like the Dinobots were never shown previously, so they're not in it now. But yeah, Tarantulas isn't in it. Waspinator's not in it. Now, that's not to mean that we're not going to get toys of those, because as I said, Trax is not in it. But here we have a Trax toy. Rodimus Prime, Hot Rod, not in it. but we have toys for them. So it's not to say that we won't get other Beast characters at some point in time. We do see Optimus Prime fighting Nemesis Prime in the trailer. That is something that does happen. I can just say that because that's in the trailer. So, yes. Would you like a redone, revamped Blitzwing? I would absolutely love it. I mean, I don't mind the one that we got in terms of a toy. That would be cool. Now, do the Beast Wars guys treat... How do they treat them? The Predacons, that's a good question as well. The Predacons basically, especially, because there's not a lot of Predacons. Black Arachnia is conniving, put it that way. Very much like her, she's out for herself. Her and Starscream have a really good relationship together in this. Scorponok is kind of a throwaway character. You only see him a little bit. It's kind of like a grunt of sorts. So you do see him a little bit. Dinobot is very much like Dinobot, where he's kind of torn between two sides of things. Megatron, I feel, is, like I said, just like... I am not very cool to be using this, but he's basically like a simp for G1 Megatron. If that makes sense to you guys. I mean, he doesn't, and that's the thing. That's not how Beast Wars Megatron should be. So it's kind of lame in general. Primal is a bit of a jerk in it. I'm not a huge fan of that. Like I said, Tigatron and Dinobot, the voice acting and character design of them should be completely reversed. So, look at that. Alfonso. Hello, my friend. Oh, he said, I did say it. I did say it. Optimus, quoting Optimus, Predacon Megatron is a simp for G1 Megatron. He's like, oh, Lord Megatron. Blah, blah, blah. It's lame. John Cena with the release of Earthrise and Kingdom toy lines. I'm enjoying getting Chug and Unicron Trilogy. Yeah, see, it's Australia. Oh, I'm going to open up one of these and go because we got about 11 minutes left of the show. Does AirRaiser get away or beat? AirRaiser does escape. You know, they all, you know, kind of do their thing. Do the fossilizers? No, fossilizers are not in the show at all. Likewise, none of the characters that we have, do they have Earth modes? Oh my God. So Stacy, huge shout out to you for these. Oh, these are like melty. I'm having a Tim Tam for the first time. So, oh, it smells really good. All right, here we go. Trying it for the first time. An Australian candy. Shout out again to you, Stacy. Thank you so much, Stacy. You, Jordan, and of course, Adam, superstars in helping me get that. So we're trying this. It's Tim Tam time. Here we go. Let's do this. So there's like a wafer in it in the middle. Double dipped in chocolate, you know, and it's not as sweet as I expected. You know, here's the thing. Here in the United States, we like put like our stuff like way too much sugar and stuff. They're pretty good. I'm not going to eat them all now. But does it even say how much sugar there are in these? Oh, wow. There's 10 grams of sugar. It just doesn't seem as sweet. That's actually pretty good. I should do like an Optimus reacts to food from around the world. So what do we got? We got about 9 minutes left. Hit me with some questions, guys. Rapid fire. Let's see what I can do. That is the Kingdom figure. Richki. Sorry, I always mess up your name. Does Barricade appear? No, Barricade does not appear. Yeah, Stacy, thank you very much. Does Decius survive from Earthrise? We don't know anything more about Decius. Same thing with like all that kind of stuff. There's nothing left with those guys. Do you still have Revenge of the Fallen figures? I have some. Oh, where's my mouse thing? I'm gonna have to send me some Vegemite. Yeah, we gotta do the Vegemite. Favorite character in the show so far? I love Wheeljack. I always have. No Chris Evans and Kevin. No Chris Evans is in Kingdom. Sorry. So does Barricade appear? So he's dead? No, he's just not. I mean, he's just not in the series. You guys will all find out about who dies and stuff when you watch it. I'm not going to talk about it. What is your opinion of the Masters of the Universe Revelation? I'm not telling you, Adam. Wait, did you say Starscream? Yes, I did. Starscream and Black Arachnia have a really good relationship in this. You'll see what I mean. You might not be able to answer this, but does Optimus Prime get the Matrix back? I don't know. I'm looking. Hold on. Watch credits. Let me see here.
I'd let myself get captured for nothing.
Oh. I can't say, which means if it happens, it would happen in episode 6, and I can't talk about that. If that gives you an answer. Alligator Loki. Would you say that Battle Blade's Optimus? Oh, this is not. I'm trying to find comments about Kingdom. There are more occurrences of the beast modes than vehicle modes. So the Beast Wars characters do seem to transform more often. Does the Matrix put a total what on Megatron? No, it does. It doesn't do anything with Megatron's behavior, really. I know Megatron had it at the end of Earthrise. Not sure. He does carry it kind of like a trophy, a badge of honor. What is your favorite sandwich? I'm a turkey sandwich guy. We got Optimus as a croc in this. Okay, is the fight between Optimus Prime and Beast Wars Megatron? Is the that's not even a question? Or like, is there a fight? They all fight. I wish we got more Transformers series like Transformers Prime. That would be cool. I'm dead to you? Wow. Why try to retrieve the Allspark when you have the mate, when you have family? Jesus. Does Megatron get the golden disc? Yes, Megatron gets the golden disc, and he does use it to try and he uses it in a way that, you know, helps fight the Autobots and such. Any references from Beast Wars and Kingdom? Again, they're all the Beast Wars characters are there, so that's clearly a reference. Roast beef or meatballs? So, no. That's okay, Juan. It's okay. That's all right. Let's see. Is the spoiler part over? No, this whole thing is going to be filled with spoilers. Correct. Again, as I said, no characters. There are no Transformers. I can't stress this enough. I seem to say it a lot. There are no Transformer characters, Autobots or Decepticons, that if they haven't appeared in the show yet, there are no new ones. So, no Scourge, no Cyclonus, no Hot Rod, no Rodimus, no Trax, no Warpath. Any of those characters that we have not seen before, none of them appear. Does Sideswipe do... Wait, what? Where did that go? Does that do anything? Or is it businesses? Yeah, kind of. How's the intro? That it, you know, it is what it is. We do get, I will say this, with Alita 1, there is, you do find out what will happen with Alita and Optimus and all that stuff. That does happen. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but there's that. Maximals in the first season, the majority of the Maximals and Predacons stayed in their beast modes because they couldn't go out because the Energon over screwed them or like messed them up. Would have been beast. Yeah. No Cyclonus. I don't remember if Cheetor said anything like that. You think Prime dies? Okay. Is it better than Siege or Earthrise? No, like I was saying, like this is definitely different. Whereas the first two I kind of felt were still in the continuity of Transformers. Kingdom puts it on its head. Does Nemesis Prime speak? Yes. That's what I'm saying. Do you think this is post or after season 1? Huh? I don't know what you mean. But all right, guys. So there it is. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Thanks for everybody that stuck around and watched the entire thing. All of you channel members, thank you so much for all of your support. I love thanking you guys. I can never get tired of thanking you guys. So when you guys are watching reviews of this guy specifically, any of you here that's not a channel member, you have channel members to thank for this, because I would not have been able to get this otherwise, because this is only out in like Australia right now. So again, thank you to the incredible support of my Optimus Plus channel members. You guys are going to get early access to watch that review before anybody else, because you deserved it. So new reviews are coming. I still have a bunch of He-Man figures, which I know a lot of people don't like watching them, but I love doing them because they're fun for me. Transformer stuff. Finally, Transformer stuff is coming out. Obviously, got some good ones here. Somebody asked me earlier about Hot Toy review. Hot Toy reviews. I have 2 on the way. I have the Bro Thor. Endgame Bro Thor is on its way. as well as Mysterio is on his way. I have not picked up Rescue yet. That one is going to be a little bit more of an expensive one, so I might have to wait for that one. Let's see. Is Wind Charger and Tailgate are what? Okay. Paul, did you see the Hot Toys Spider-Man No Way Home suit? It's available for pre-order. I don't know if I've seen it yet. So, but that's it, guys. So live streams real quick, just so you guys are aware. Let me look at my work schedule to know what my days off are this week, because I'm going to be doing my members only chat. Okay, so members only channel, members only stream, where I will probably talk about more things. Obviously, will be the 27th of this month, and the 28th will be the Titan class Zoom call, where that gets fun, and I'm going to go and buy beer, and we're going to have a good old time. So Tuesday, Wednesday. Good to see you too, Alfonso. Good to see everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope I answered some questions without spoiling too terribly much for you guys. Remember, the show comes out on the 29th of July. Take a look. Netflix. Good, fun series that really does lead into future stuff. So we were laughing like, well, what are we going to do after this? There's going to be more. Clearly, there's going to be more. So should be fun, guys. Should be fun. Thank you all for tuning in, though. Remember that the real trouble with the world is palm in your face.